Welcome. If you're here, we're here for part 3 of our visit with the crazy chicken lady, my neighbor Kayleen. Amongst other things, we're going to talk about her awesome feeder, her fountain or waterer, and why she has this disdain for big box stores and their supplies and their chicks. So, hope to see you at the end of this video. Alright, so 90 birds are out here and you're feeding them all in this little feeder, is that correct?
Yeah, this is a platform feeder to where you can have it out in the middle of winter with snow and your food doesn't get wet. Rodents can't get into it. You have to train your chickens, but chickens are very habitual, so they learn very quickly. Some chickens I've never even had to teach how to do this, but when I first got this feeder, it was in this position to where they could access the food. And then the next week you put it down a little bit further to where they have to step on this to get it to go up to where they feel comfortable with the clanginess of it. And then once they learn that, then they just feed just like that. So they know that they have to step on the platform and it's going to make noise so it doesn't startle them. And that lasts for all the chickens for a day, give or take. I always have some left over at the end of a day. I love this feeder because it can be outside in the elements, hot, cold, snow, rain, and everything stays super duper dry. And you see how it doesn't affect him at all as far as the sound it makes when it opens.
Okay, so how old does the chicks have to be? How much weight do they need to have to push that down?
The 2-week-old chicks that you may or may not have been showing, if they stepped on that, it would pop open for them.
Really?
A chick could weigh maybe a pound or 2, and it's going to open for them.
Continue.
You want to be careful that when the little ones are around, that your other one, adults typically like to jump up here, and then they jump down on this. I've actually had one of my chicks get stuck in there with its head. It didn't hurt it, but I shooed that chicken off real quick. And they learn and they adapt to what they can and can't be around. So.
Okay.
So this is, once it closes, it's nice and airtight, and it's actually, this particular brand is made and designed in New Zealand. There are takeoffs of it, but they're not as good a quality as this one. Case in point, my brother and his sister bought it. Takeoff of this grandpa's feeder, and it not working near as well as mine. Hey, Erica.
I would imagine with this many hens, I was going to say the door's not even going to close because there's always going to be one on there, but this many birds, but they're not all piling in.
Our social roosters.
And this is your waterer right here.
Yeah, I have a waterer. I'm not a fan of the new waterers that you buy in the big feed stores. I've bought them before. This is a vintage waterer.
So what's different between the ones now and the vintage ones?
The ones now, the seams on the fount wall, and if you don't know what fount is, that's just another fancy word for chicken water. The seams fail. These seams right here fail on the cover and on the interior fount. And what I found with my old ones is they last for a lot longer time. I think the one I bought in the big box store maybe lasted me 6 months before the seam failed. And the company told me, well, just caulk it. And I'm like, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to go and buy an older feeder. These feeders probably from the 70s. I mean, that's not a long time ago, but hey, that's when they manufactured things a lot better than they do nowadays.
Kayleen, you say the 70s aren't a long time ago. You're aging yourself. Multiple times you've talked about buying supplies, and then you've said the big box store and rolled your eyes in disdain. Mm-hmm. Is there something you'd like to say? I feel like you need to get something off your chest.
Okay, well, I used to buy my chicks through the big box stores. You figure it out which feed stores I'm talking about. I am not going to say them on this station. And I've had nothing but problems with chicks that I've bought there, whether they died as young chicks or as they matured into adult hens. I never had a healthy flock. Once I stopped buying chicks in the big box stores and started raising my own, or bought hatching eggs from other farmers such as you, Rob, I have not lost a hen or a rooster or a chick to health problems in probably, since I started doing that, it was probably within the last five and a half years. This is probably the healthiest my flock's ever been, and I haven't lost a hen to a health problem in 5.5 years.
So, are they inbreeding, or what's the story? Why are those chicks so poor quality?
Well, the chicks that you buy in the stores are, for lack of a better term, purebreds. All the chickens that you see here today on the video are pretty much all mixed breeds. I don't raise them for showing, so I really don't care what they look like. All I care about is that they're healthy, they're producing, and they're happy hens. And a producing hen is a happy hen. So that is one of the reasons that I am not a fan of the big box stores. So I would say that the majority of my chickens here are from as far away as I've picked hatching eggs up from somebody in Cathlamet, Richfield, across the river in Clark County, in Woodland. So a lot of my breeds are from other farms that, I just had my broody hens hatch out. So they're not even my own chicks, but they are now producing chicks that I turn around and sell. Yeah, with chickens, there's always something new. I've been doing chickens for 11 years now, and there's always something that they do or that I learn from them that I have not had the opportunity to learn otherwise. I mean, new stuff all the time. And I always like to say that I don't know everything there is to know about chickens. Just like everybody doesn't know everything they know about something that they're passionate about. There's always something new to learn.
Well, I understand completely. On my Christmas tree farm, which is my business,
Yep.
when we started we learned from an old veteran. He goes, you're doing the right thing. Ask questions, and you're always going to make mistakes, and you're always going to learn. So I'm 20 years into Christmas tree farming,
Yep.
and I'm still figuring things out. We're getting better and better all the time.
The minute you say you know everything there is to know about it, something's going to trip you up.
Yep.
And it's going to make a liar out of you.
Yeah. Got to have a growth mindset. Keep learning. Always keep learning.
Yep.
Thanks for joining me for part 3 of our visit with the Crazy Chicken Lady. Hope to see you on part 4, where she's going to talk mostly about roosters. Hope to see you again on the Flanagan Homestead, where Christmas trees are my business, teaching included horticulture is my job, and outdoor projects, including raising chickens, are my passion.